Hey, my name is Wyatt Mund, and over the last 10 weeks I've interned at the Fargo Club, and this is my project to help better the Fargo Sam's Club. So, just a little bit of an overview to start things off. We're going to touch base on merchandising, and that'll be geared towards the electronics department. And then we'll switch over and talk a little bit about cashiers and how they can improve membership and just overall satisfaction with our cashiers. And then lastly, we'll have a few closing statements where I'll just discuss some general ideas. So, first things first, electronics. As you can see, it's a relatively small portion. If you take a look at the chart over on the right, you'll see all other department sales, and electronics makes up about 10% of those sales. But what's important to take away from that is the electronics are the first part our members see when they walk into the club. And it's a great way to get our members excited about shopping and get into that shopping mood. And so we want to make sure we maximize the potential of electronics. Yes, it is a relatively small portion, but again, just making sure to get the most out of it. And one way we can definitely do that is by taking a look at the Phantom drone. Uh, First thing, you walk by it and you see it's a new and innovative product, which is one thing Sam's Club really prides itself on. But I mean, other than that, it gives a general description, but it really lacks excitement. So what are some opportunities we can do to really improve this pod? Well, I think the first thing we could do to help with that would be having an unboxed product, maybe to showcase to our members what the Phantom drone looks like so it draws their eye. But the big opportunity I see here is implementing a promo video to play above the pod, similar to what we do with our GoPro pod, just really to get our members excited and draw their eye again to the Phantom drone pod. Just a promo video showing a loop of what everything that this drone can do, because I know a lot of people aren't familiar with all its capabilities, and that's really one way to showcase it. And again, just building off that, we did a market tour about 5 weeks into the program, and we went up to Grand Forks. And as we were strolling through the electronics club, I noticed their Phantom drone pod, and sure enough, they had a promo video playing above the pod. And as you can see, the numbers don't lie. So, sold to date, Fargo sold 6 Phantom drones over 11 months, while Grand Forks has sold 22 Phantom drones. So, you can see there's a substantial amount difference. And again, on maximizing potential, just kind of looking at it number wise, the Phantom drones retail for $480 a piece. So obviously that's not the margin we get, but that's almost an $8,000 difference. So definitely some room for improvement with the Phantom drone pod. And next up, the Gear VR. So again, it does a good job of being a new and innovative product. The problem here is, our members may ask, what is this and can I try it? I know a lot of people come into the store with the idea that they see this online and they really want to get a feel of it before they buy it, because it's one of those products where I know for me personally, if I haven't had the chance to try it, I'm definitely not going to buy it, because I don't know what it is. It's that new and it's innovative and it's cool. So what's the opportunity here? Well, I think we could definitely incorporate a live demo of sorts, so the members have the ability to come into our store and try the product, because I know some have asked about this and they're turned away because we don't have that, or maybe just an option where we have this live demo on request, so you can cut out the chance of something getting stolen. The only question I have here is maybe it's a liability. I know dealing with vision and stuff, it definitely could be, but if not, it would be a great benefit to have this live demo incorporated with the Gear VR, because sold to date we have sold 5 of these as well. Next up, we're going to switch gear to membership. Just a little bit of an overview of how important membership is to Sam's Club. So membership is the foundation of Sam's Club. As you can see over here on the right, our members make up 2/3 of our operating profit. You'll see what they bring in from sales and what they bring in from fees. So it is important that we remember that our members pay to shop. And with that being said, it is 100% profit. So we really want to make sure to maximize the potential. And how can we do that? Well, making sure that we get renewals and upgrades and credits. Because ultimately, I mean, looking at the numbers here, 100% profit, and then taking a look at that graph, how I said it made up 2/3 of our operating profit. Ultimately, membership drives sales. So the more members we get, the more sales we have. So that's just how crucial membership is to Sam's Club. So what are some general expectations we have for cashiers? Well, first and foremost, membership satisfaction. And you'll see I gave this a green asterisk because I feel we do a pretty good job of making sure that our customers are happy and satisfied with their shopping experience. Next up's cart transfer, and again, a green asterisk. From what I saw on the front end, everyone did a good job for the most part, making sure that we take the member's product, scan it, and put it into a new cart, really to help eliminate the opportunity of shrink. Next up, keep lines short and direct traffic. You'll see I gave this an orange asterisk. When things get busy on the front end for us, I think we have a tendency to fall behind and we don't direct traffic as well as we should. And keeping lines short goes a long ways. So I think that's one thing we can definitely just continue to work on. Because ultimately our members come in, they want to save money and they want to save time. And so by having them wait at the end of the checkout line for a long time can really ruin a member's experience shopping because it is the last place they visit in the club. So again, like I said, continue to improve upon that will go a long ways. Now lastly here, follow prompts. And what I mean by this is, through renewals, upgrades, credits. And you'll see I gave this a red asterisk because our daily goal for each cashier is to get 2 upgrades and 2 credits. Now, this goal is something that we should continue to strive for. It doesn't necessarily mean that we need to get it on a daily basis, but it's something, like I said, that we need to continue to strive for. And from what I've seen, that's just not happening anymore. And by looking at the numbers, it's rarely ever done. So definitely an area to improve upon. So what procedures do we have in place currently to help with this? Well, first and foremost, we have our one-on-ones, which is really focused on the upgrades and credits and mainly prompts. But what I like about it is it holds our associates accountable. It's a bi-weekly one-on-one sit-down with each cashier where they can go over their numbers. And our cashiers really have to speak to their numbers. If they're not selling, they have to explain what's going on. The problem here is our cashiers feel interrogated. From sitting in on these one-on-ones, it's almost like it goes in one ear and out the other. And they hear the word one-on-one and it's dreaded and they zone out. And it's ultimately not very productive. And it's not the problem. I know Sarah does a great job of doing these one-on-ones, and Faria too. I sat in with both of them. Both tried to motivate them and try to help them go over some different ways they can get better numbers on selling. But a lot of our cashiers just aren't having it, and that's something that needs to be looked into because they need to get on board with this procedure because ultimately it is there to help them. And then the other procedure in place is called coaching. It's throughout the whole club, and it's essentially if there's a problem that needs to be addressed or taken care of. And there's written and verbal coachings, and ultimately there's 3 strikes and you're moved to a different department or it's grounds for termination. So with this procedure in place, we're still lacking results. What's the problem? Well, like I said, not following prompts and hard to sell. Our cashiers just aren't following the prompts, so they can't see the results. And part of that may be they're just, the upgrades and credits are hard to sell sometimes. It really depends on the people going through the line, but we need to continue to work on that. Next up, training and understanding. There's some down there on the front end who just don't have the understanding of how to sell or don't have the proper training. Because some do require more time, and as a result of that, they aren't ready to sell, and their numbers suffer. And thirdly, lack of motivation. It really builds off the ones above that. Our cashiers get discouraged from seeing poor numbers, and it comes to the point where they're not motivated to sell, and they could care less if they meet their 2 upgrades and 2 credits requirement for the day. So, what's my idea to help our cashiers get motivated and help them sell more upgrades and credits? It's a talked into shift program I call the pep talk. And essentially, who would give the pep talk would be a COS, a team lead, or a manager. Now, it would be approximately 1 minute in time. And essentially, what it would be is here's a little chart of how it would go down. The first step, approach the cashier for pep talk at beginning of their shift. Now, the thing to take away from this is it's super casual, which really differs from our one-on-ones, is from the one-on-one sit-down. And what could be discussed here on this casual interaction is, you could discuss new promotions. If we're doing a new promotion, let our cashiers know and make sure they let our members know. Membership benefits, if they're struggling to remember some benefits of our memberships, go over those membership benefits quickly with them before the day starts. Role play, if they're having trouble effectively working it into conversation, pretend that you're a member and they're the cashier, and do a little role play. Contest, let them know about any contests we're doing and get them pepped up and ready to go for that. And then a big thing here is general issues. If they're having issues and that something needs to be fixed, just kind of mention that issue. Maybe they're forgetting their cash slip. Just kind of mention that before their shift starts, or they're having trouble doing the cart-to-cart transfer. Why not mention that? And then also just the big thing again is motivation. Ask how they're doing, and then just get them motivated and ready to go for selling for the day. And then let the associate know they matter and sign off that they received their pep talk. This could be something that AJ would get at the end of the week to make sure that everyone is getting their pep talk. So what are the goals of the pep talk? Because I know a lot of people are saying, oh, this is just another dumb procedure that doesn't need to be in place. But the thing to take away from this is positive reinforcement. We're approaching them at a standpoint that it's not such a dreaded procedure, and this is just a interaction with all of our cashiers to really give them positive reinforcement. And then secondly, better understanding. It's not just a better understanding for them by getting this daily reminder, but it's also a better understanding for management as we get this daily interaction with each and every one of our cashiers. And lastly, just a daily coaching, not a coaching in a bad sense, but a coaching in the sense that, like I said, we get this daily interaction and have the opportunity to help them with any issues they have and give them this daily reminder and just help them get pumped up and ready to sell. And then again, just a few more ways we can maximize potential for our cashiers. Motivating factors. Motivation is a great way to see results in any industry or field. And one way to motivate is through contests and challenges. Now, I know this is something we've done in the past, and there's been a few around over my 10 weeks here. I just wanted to touch base on this and say I would continue to work in contests and challenges. It's a great way to spice things up and really get our cashiers excited about something new. And then next up, I call this one Sam's Cash. Now, talking with Bailey and Sarah, I know we had Sam's Bucks and safety bucks and high five pins, but we really haven't done anything like this. So essentially what this would be is our cashiers would be rewarded with Sam's Cash, or money that could be used at the cafe, for a job well done. They wouldn't necessarily have to meet their 2 credits, 2 upgrades to get this, but if we see a cashier's numbers going from poor on a day-to-day basis to improving, why not reward them with some Sam's Cash? Or really just anyone going above and beyond in the front end would be rewarded from management. They would get Sam's Cash. Again, this is just a great way to reward our cashiers for a job well done. And by rewarding them, they're motivated and they want to strive for getting this daily goal of 2 credits and 2 upgrades. Now, Sam's Cash is something that could be incorporated throughout all areas of the club, but my focus here is just on the front end And again, just a great way to reward our cashiers for a job well done. And then lastly, on maximizing potentials, membership selling course. We really don't have anything like this in place right now. And again, talking with Sarah and Bailey, there is an opportunity in the one-on-ones to go over things if there's issues and role play and things like that. But as of now, we don't really have an actual course where our cashiers can go to help better themselves. So who would the instructors of this course be? Well, right away I thought to the marketing department. Why not someone who's out in the field and has to sell to someone who doesn't necessarily want a membership, but they can be talked into it? So I thought, why not Steph, Gene, and Mary? I never had the opportunity to go out in the field with Steph, but I guarantee she knows how to sell. And then Gene and Mary, both great sellers, both have different styles, but both very effective and willing to share that with other people. I know over the week I was with them, they more than happily took me on and taught me everything about the different types of memberships and how to effectively sell. Just getting that interaction with them, I learned a lot about the membership. So who would the students be for this membership selling course? Well, obviously it'd be cashiers struggling, or maybe just cashiers wanting to develop their skills a little more. And lastly, the objective would be really to just explain membership benefits and selling. So through this course, we want our cashiers to have a better understanding of the membership benefits. Being on the front end, watching some of them, there's some out there who don't really know the difference between membership benefits. And then there's others who may know that, but they don't know how to effectively work selling into conversation and really ultimately get that sale at the end of the conversation. So with a course like this, we're giving our cashiers the tools to be successful on the front end. And again, this wouldn't have to be hours upon hours. It could just be a short course or however long management thinks it takes for each and every cashier who's struggling to help develop these skills necessary to be successful on the front end. Because when it comes down to it, the better our cashiers can sell, the better the overall club will be. And then lastly, just a few closing statements. Touch base on the donation wall here. Donating is an important aspect of Sam's Club. Sam's takes great pride in being involved with the community and donating, which I think is pretty awesome. But one opportunity I see here is if we take a closer look, we'll see that our checks are dated 2014. Again, not a huge deal, but as the focus point of the club, we want to make sure that we get those checks updated, and because we are involved with donating in 2016, and that's something we should pride ourselves on and let our members know. So getting that updated would be beneficial for everyone. And now lastly, sweet treats. This is more of something that would be taken up at the corporate level and kind of just me having a little bit of fun with PowerPoint. So first and foremost, frozen yogurt. Everybody loves it. I know it's my favorite. It comes in 3 different flavors. You have your 4-berry, you have your chocolate, and you have your vanilla. And they're all 12 ounces. But the problem is, bigger isn't always better. If you ever had one of these, they're huge. I mean, if you're trying to eat a meal and then down one of these, it's nearly impossible. I'm a pretty big guy, and just eating one of these plain, it's a lot of frozen yogurt. So introducing the new 6-ounce mini frozen yogurt. Now, looking at it from a nutritional standpoint, we're cutting everything in half. I mean, the calories, the sugars, the fats, the carbs, everything's cut in half. But from a pricing standpoint, now we currently charge $1.59 for our 4-berry 12-ounce and 99 cents for our chocolate vanilla 12-ounce frozen yogurt. Now that 99 cents is super cheap for what you get. So right away I'd get rid of that price and I would up that to $1.29. Now I'll explain that in a little bit, but as for our mini pricing, I would go 99 cents for our 4-berry and 69 cents for our chocolate vanilla. Now, the other week I went over to Costco and did a little spying. I tried the frozen yogurt. I'm not trying to be biased, ours is a little better, but essentially it is the same. It's 12 ounces, it's available in 4-berry, chocolate, vanilla. The difference is they're charging $1.65 for their four-berry and $1.35 for their chocolate vanilla versus what we charged as 99 cents. Now, you can see with our new price change, we're still beating them by that 6 cents margin. So we are ultimately have lower prices on that. But what we're doing here really, it's not a huge change, but by doing this price change, we're raising the price, and ultimately we have the opportunity to profit more. We're offering two different products and really catering to a much wider variety of our members. Like I said, I know a lot of people shy away from the 12 ounce just because it is so big. So by doing this, we have the potential to get a lot more sales. And again, this isn't going to make us get rich quick, but just a great way to create excitement and change things up with our cafe. So, that being said, I want to thank you all for listening to my presentation. Just want to touch base a little bit over the Fargo Club. Over the last 10 weeks, I've worked with so many different people in so many different departments, and everyone really embraced me and was more than willing to show me along the way. And one thing I want to touch base on is just from what I noticed throughout any department, if anyone was shorthanded or needed help, there was always someone willing to go above and beyond. And I think that's pretty great for our club, and definitely shows there's a lot of great people working here. As for me, I will be a junior at NDSU this fall, majoring in marketing and a minor in strategic communication. So I will have 2 more years of college left, and from there we'll see where things take me. Again, just thank you for this opportunity. I know I had an awesome internship experience here, and there's much more going on at Sam's Club than meets the eye. And I want to just thank everyone, all of management. I know I had an awesome time, and hopefully you enjoyed having me as much as I've enjoyed being here. So thank you.